From this moment, life has begun. From this moment, you are the one. Right beside you is where I belong. From this moment on.
Looks like we made it. Look how far we've come, my baby. We might have took the long
It's me.
way.
So you're probably thinking to yourself, what's happening? Why am I wearing this beautiful red dress? And where am I going? Well, you can probably assume what's going on right now. But in the meantime, let's just say you're going on a little adventure. Let me explain. So the limo driver is going to take you to a few destinations around the city. Let me sit up right here. There we go. A few destinations around the city. Once he drops you off, you'll go inside the building and ask for a package for Tiana. They'll know what you're talking about. Go back in the limo. He'll take you to the next place, and again and again. In the meantime, I'm going to send you a series of videos answering some questions about the little adventure that we've been on for the past few years. After my videos are done, I want you to answer those same questions and record yourself and then send them back to me, because I want to be a part of it too. But for the meantime, kick back, relax, and enjoy the ride. The phone fell right when I was pressing the record button. But question number one, when and how did we first meet? So it was right before you started school. It was the summer before you started school, come to U of A. And I was with Cody Pulsifer and Sister Niemeyer in her office, just chilling. It was just us talking. And then you and your mom came walking in. And Sister Niemeyer was like, hey, you need to meet Tiana. She's cool, she's a track athlete, and she's awesome. And so we just shook hands, introduced ourselves to each other, and that was pretty much it. You and your mom went somewhere else to tour the building, but my initial thought was, dang, she's really cute. To be honest, it was also like, dang, she's a D1 track athlete. Like, she's a stud. She's like in her own class. And freshman, a little bit younger, and I was like, well, I'll probably see her around, but I'm not gonna go for it. But as like the semester continued on, we saw each other, here and there, more rare than common. Saw each other at soccer games, throughout the year or whatever. And it was fun. It was cool. The conversations we were able to have, just joke around or whatever. The real kicker was when we started taking astronomy and sign language together, and it was really neat just to have a familiar face in sign language, especially, and just to be able to talk to someone and be able to associate with someone. And then I know we sat in different seats. You were with the other track people, and I was sitting with Taylor in astronomy. But it was just really neat to take similar classes. And the funny thing was, throughout that entire semester, Sister Niemeyer, Taylor, and like one or two other people were like, hey, you should take Tiana out on a date. And I was like, I'm not really looking for a relationship, but, we'll see. And as the semester progressed on, I realized, okay, I could try it. Cue the astronomy final prep that one night at the Institute. And so that's when all the Lauren thing went down. We went outside. I said, let's go somewhere else to avoid Lauren. And we went up the parking garage, and we just laughed and had a ton of fun. And it was like at that moment where I was just like, okay, this girl's like super awesome, and I need to ask her out. But I knew it was the end of the semester. I didn't really want to ask like a formal date. I just wanted to play it cool, and say, hey, let's go for an after final celebration thing. This is where we butt heads, but after the final, the astronomy final, we were walking And I told myself, I'd planned it out in my head like all night, saying, okay, I'm going to ask her out before we get to the institute or whatever. And I did. I said, hey, what are you doing for Christmas break? He said, I'm going to Vegas. I said, when? And he said, tomorrow. I was like, oh, dang. Well, what are you doing tonight? Because I'd love to like have a little celebration after we rock that final. And he said, okay, I have a gathering, but after that, maybe if it goes through or not, then we can go. And fortunately for me, we were able to go. I guess it fell through or something. And we just went to Frost and ended up going to Winter Haven, if I remember right. And it was all closed down. You'd never gone, I don't think. And there were a few houses still lit up, but there was like no one there. And it was just super cool to be able to hang out with you, get to know you, laugh with you, and it was just natural. It was all of it. Our whole conversation was very natural. And again, it was just like, okay, like this girl's for real. And so Christmas break happened, and so yeah, that was pretty much my introduction to you, and that was awesome. But now I want your side of the story, even though I know a little bit of it. Give me full details, or maybe just the reaction of what's happening. Send me a video, and I'll send you another one after you get your first package.
Okay, so I believe we met when I came on my recruiting trip to Arizona at the Institute. I think we did at least, but we didn't start being really friends until we started having classes together. I think sign language and astronomy were the big ones. We might have had institute class before too, but those were the main ones. And leading up to our first date, I remember telling my friend Lucy, like, oh no, it's just Dakota, like we're just friends, and we're going out to celebrate the semester ending or whatever. And she's like, oh, like he's cute, like he's cool, you should. Whatever, she was asking about it, and I was like, oh no, like it's just Dakota, like come on. And then we went on our first date. And I do also remember that you claimed to have asked me on it, but I believe it was because of my doing, saying that, hey, we should go celebrate that the semester's over and that we finished our exams or whatever. And we were like, okay, yeah, like we should do this. And yeah, then you were like, yeah, let's go to Frost, let's go get some gelato. And I was like, okay, like making you think it was your idea, of course, but. I love these and this.
Question number 2, first date. So, continuing on, I really wanted to date you after that initial, after final celebration. And so, obviously you went to Vegas, I went to Payson, we texted, Snapchatted, good time. So leading up to that, I wanted to know when you were coming back. And you told me that you were going to come back the first week of January. I'm pretty sure it was super early, so that you could report back for track and get started with practices and so forth, workouts and whatnot. And so I wanted to be there too. And so I told my parents, and I told you the same thing. Oh, I got to go back early so I can, apartment stuff, classes, find a job or something, and then go from there. Which was, yeah, kind of, but sole purpose was to hang out with you, and so that's what I did. I'm pretty sure the night you showed up was the night that I showed up as well, that I drove down from Payson, and I think either that night or the next night we went out on a little date, and we went to Frost, I'm pretty sure. Super good place. And then we went back to your house because you'd always wanted to go on top of your roof and you'd never been. And so I was just like, let's do it. And we did. And I remember the sloth noises very well. And we just talked, you know, we talked about a lot of things, a lot of deep things. You know, it wasn't just surface level conversation, but it was something that was great to learn more about you and just to connect. And, you know, I started liking you a lot more and more and more the more we hung out. And so in my head again, as we were about to get down, I was like, okay, I don't want to mess this up at all, because there's something different about this girl. And so usually I would just go right for it, but I knew that I needed to do something else. And so as we got down, I gave you a hug goodnight, and I kissed you on the forehead. Just a simple sentiment. And you know, that was something that I'd never done before, and you know, something that I felt was appropriate. And you know, after that, it continued on and on. And so that was what I remember from our first date that I consider. And of course, I wanted to take you out on a formal date, not just like hang out and do whatever, but I wanted to ask you out on a formal date. So we went, and we went to the pinball machine place, which was super cool. And then we went to the improv thing, and I tell you what, I was hyping it up big time. I was just like, yeah, she's gonna love this. Like, she's gonna laugh her face off, and it's gonna be a good time. She's gonna like me a lot more because I know the cool places in town. And when that cop did his thing, I was just like, in my head, I was just like, oh, it's okay. But in my mind, I was just like, he ruined it. Luckily, that redhead saved the show. But yeah, that was, I guess, first date was when you got back for track. First formal date was when we went out and ate dinner and had a show and pinball and just had a good time. But regardless, it was all awesome. All memories that I won't forget. But alright, your turn. Send me your thoughts, feelings about first date, what happened, what went on your mind, and go from there.
Okay, so next question. What I remember about a first date. By the way, I hope I'm allowed to eat these right now because they're amazing. Okay, so our first date, we drove to Frost, which is a really far drive actually, and I just remember thinking you were hilarious the whole time, and all your stories that you told me were so funny. Like, I was cracking up the entire drive. And so that was really fun. I mean, not awkward first date whatsoever. So yeah, that was really fun. And then we drove home, or back to my house, and I believe we went to Winter Haven after that to see the lights, but they had turned the lights off because it was too late already. But we went in there anyway and like walked around and saw like half of the lights lit up still, and it was really cold. But it was really fun still because, you know, all your stories and all that was just a good time. And then like I think our second date we were just like driving around the whole time just talking, which was like perfect because it was just fun. And yeah, that was the first couple. I think the one after that was we might have gone and climbed up on my roof. Yeah, I think that was the third one. We climbed up onto my roof, and it was freezing cold. And you had socks on, and I had sandals on because I'm dumb, and it was winter, and I was wearing flip-flops. And you had socks and moccasins, and you like gave me your moccasins to wear because my feet were cold, and we were sitting on the roof. And I just remember that was like a really deep conversation to have, and like we really got to know each other, I think, that night. And then like super in-depth conversation about like your dreams and like the things that really like are pressing upon our hearts at that time in our life or whatever. But then like 5 minutes later we were making sloth noises into the night because it was funny, and like laughing about a cat walking across the street and just cracking up there. So it was just like the whole range of everything, so that was fun.
question number 3. When did I know that I wanted to marry you? So it wasn't like one event that just was just like, yep, that's it. It was just over the course of time. The more we hung out, the more I fell in love with you. A lot of things that led up to it, you know, are deep conversations. Another one was when we went to Vegas for the first time. You asked me after, you know, 2 to 3 weeks after we started first dating, to go to Vegas to be with your family. And, you know, yes, I was extremely nervous. It was something I'd never done, but it turned out to be just a fantastic weekend, and just had a ton of fun with your family, had a ton of fun with you, and we were able to talk on the way to Vegas, on the way back. You know, I got to learn more about your feelings, you learned more about me, you know, your past, my past, you know, your goals, my goals, your fears, my fears, and all these things that just meshed together. And it was just great to be with you and to spend a lot of time with you. And again, just the more I hung out with you, the more I was just like, dang, this girl is amazing. She's different than any other girl that I've dated or been with, and it's something that I would love to continue. I guess also, I mean, just the more we dated, the more I realized how special you were and how I wanted to be the best man for you, because you deserve the best. And you made me want to change. I was in a state, you know, before we started dating, where I was trying to get back to live the gospel, but it was still a struggle. And, you know, seeing you, the way the gospel is centered in your life, and the blessings that came for yourself as an individual and as a family. You know, being able to see your family, and also helping me recognize, you know, the family that I have, was something that I really cherished and really wanted. And, you know, again, my love just continued to grow and grow. And I guess that manifested itself in the infamous interruption of Tatum at the door. And she'll still never know. But, you know, I meant it. You know, regardless if I was going to go on a mission or not. I wanted to marry you in the temple. I wanted to prepare myself to do that, because that's what you deserve. And, you know, I ended up going on a mission, changed my life forever, and that goal still exists. You know, and that's something that I'm grateful for, a greater perspective, and hasn't changed. Hasn't changed, you know, before the mission, after the mission, the goal is still the same. And so that, like I said, over time, wasn't just one event, but my love for you grew and grew the more we were together. And so send your thoughts, your feelings about this question as well, and we'll see you soon.
Heart beats fast, colors and promises. How to be brave? How can I love when I'm afraid to fall? But watching you stand alone, all of my doubt suddenly goes away somehow. One step closer. I have died every day waiting for you. Darling, don't be afraid. I have loved you for 1,000 years. I love you for 1,000 more. Time stands still, beauty and all.
I am now engaged, in my favorite city in the world. Vegas.
To me,
To this man. So
best night ever.
Every breath, every hour has come to this. One step closer. I have died every day waiting for you. Darling, don't be afraid. I have loved you for 1,000 years. I love you for 1,000 more. And all along I believed I would find you. Time has brought your heart to me. I have loved you for 1,000 years. I love you for 1,000 more.
So, we're in my favorite place in Vegas, but I had black and white cookies and halal food, which is the ultimate things from New York. Oh, here's more Vegas. And I went by the New York hotel, and dream come true.
They say, Beyonce says if you like it, put a ring on it. So that's what I did.
It's true.
1,000